Now, you must understand, this month, right, is a very special month. This month is called what? Kislev. You have to put your mind in order, especially the times of Chanukah, to give extra tzedakah. How do I know that? If you take the word, what's kis?
Pocket.
Like pocket. Like we usually mean kis, yani give from your pocket. Lev. Kis, lev. Your heart, lev, kis. Spell it backwards. Open up your heart from your pocket. You know what's going on? Especially during the times of Chanukah. A lot of times the person, they have, I'm talking about specifically aniyim, poor people. Poor people, they don't, unfortunately they don't have. Sometimes they don't have, The kid wants a sufganiyah, everybody's buying sufganiyah, the things cost $4.50. Like, what are you buying? Just bread and some jelly. $4, right? $4. I'm talking about the plain one. I'm not talking about the custard, the crazy, strawberry shortcake on top, and you see like 15 things on top, like lemon meringue donut. You know how many donuts they have? You walked into the store once this other week. Oh my God, you walk in straight to donuts, maybe 15 different kinds of donuts. Absolutely my life. Back in the day growing up was jelly. you were like in 3rd grade, 4th grade, you go, sorry, they got a jelly donut. That's it. Now you walk in, 15 different donuts. And you have a family, they can't even afford the donut. Why would the father's going to pay $4 for the thing? Come on. So a lot of times you have to understand, this is a time of kislev, of kis, opening up your heart to give to kis. And I'll tell you something, wherever you are, saying to my rabbi, fine, how I know who I give? I don't know poor people. You might not know poor people. Your rabbi, whoever your rabbi is, guarantee it. You go to him and you tell him, Rabbi, I have some money for poor people. Can you give it out for me? Guarantee he'll know. Because what do the people do? They don't go. They're not going to go to you. They go to the rabbi direct and they ask the rabbi, can I have some help? Can I have this? Can I have that? If you know anybody, this, that. And sometimes the rabbi has, sometimes the rabbi doesn't have. But it's up to you people, to understand. Call up the rabbi. How you doing? There's that. I have some money for poor people. You tell him, for poor people, take care of it for me. And he'll know. And he'll do it. Many times he'll do it. You understand what I'm saying? Of course he'll do it. There's no question to do it. But you on your own, you have to be, there's passive and there's active. Active means you go out of your way to pursue the tzedakot. Now he writes over here, this is the Ochot Tzedikim, and I want to read it for you. Ha-nedivut, being generous, hi midah asher yagia ba adam lamalot gedolot. Being generous will create more good character and advantages towards your growth. One of the things we have to grow on, the Gaon of Vilna says, we have to constantly grow in midot, in character. And one of the characters is being generous. That's one of the characters. And generous, by the way, it can mean a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily, when you see generous, what are you thinking about? Only money. That's what you're thinking about. Right? Oh, be generous with my money. But there's many more things but generosity. Generosity is be generous, let's say. Sometimes it's hard, but with your time. A person needs your time. He needs to talk over a situation. I know a guy, he was getting married, and he wasn't sure about if the girl was for him. So he went to one of his best friends, and his best friend told me, Rabbi, you know what I was doing? For 2.5 hours, 3 hours, he wrote the pros and the cons of this situation, and he wrote pros, cons. Now, we have everything down unpacked. Everything. He was like a list of 20, that's crazy. Well, now, what do you have to say? And the guy told him, the friend that was writing it all down, he said, listen, by the way, I see all the pros all like this. By the way, if you don't marry, I want to marry you. He's like, okay, I'll marry you. That was it. He got married. It's a true story. And he got married. He saw that. And what happened? This guy told me, I was so generous with my time. I gave 3.5. Of course, I'll do it, no problem. But 2.5 to 3.5 hours, 4 hours, just writing the pros and the cons and this, that. The biggest hesed. But what? That's being a generous human being. It's being generous. Now, I have to know how much generosity and but the bottom line is, a person should be generous in all aspects in life. It builds his character up. Generous in his time giving, generous in listening to others, what they have to say, generous in giving, right? In giving whatever it may be. I'm saying, like giving a guy might not necessarily need your physical money. He might need let's say a ride and things like that. Be generous, no problem. All these things, it brings you up to a greater level. He says, when it's in a good aspect, it is very, very praiseworthy. You'll gain in this world and the next world. Like it says, Matan Adam Yarchivlo. The gift of humans will open up. And in front of Gedolim, you'll be placed. Meaning to say, there's a statement: the more you give, the more you get. What does that mean? The more you give, the more you get. It means like this, very simple. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has all the money in the world. I have the money, I have the gold. Alright, that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu has everything. Now, He's going to distribute it. He's going to give it out. Who's He going to give it out to? He says, listen, if you see a person that's constantly giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, whoa, this guy, I see him doing great. Let me give him more, so he can give more, even more. He's doing a good job being my treasurer. He's my treasurer. He's doing a good job. I give him more and more and more and more and more. But also, you have to understand, it comes with responsibility. Sometimes a person will be extremely wealthy. He has to understand this is a responsibility. It's a heavy-duty responsibility. Sometimes the person doesn't want that responsibility. Now you have to deal with everybody. If he gets that he deals with everybody. Institutions, organizations, people, poor people, everything. And that's a responsibility on that person. You understand? That's why a person must understand that what? Like the statement says, the more you give, people are going to love you even more. You want to be beloved. That's a nice act, that people love you. Oh, this guy's the best guy. This guy, amazing. He's always a giving. I call him up, this, that. No problem, here, there. You want to be a beloved personality. You do. So one of those things is a person that we know that we can rely on for this, for that, for that. It's an amazing thing. There's no greater way of being beloved than being generous. And even in Olam Haba, in the real world, when you get to the real world after 120 years happy and healthy, the matanot that you gave, the gifts that you gave, you'll gain back. And what I mean by generosity also, I'd like to explain this also. Sometimes a person invites you for Shabbat. Come for Shabbat. It's a good idea to send a gift. He invites you for holidays. You invited out. One of your friends invite you for Shabbat or for Yom Tov, for holidays, or for something nice. So beforehand, you send them a gift. You send it in, either flowers or a nice bottle of wine. And these things people have to be educated about. Because, again, it's not an obligation, but you're bringing a shalom. You're bringing a peace. Wow, he came, he appreciates that I'm here. He doesn't have to, Look at this guy in the back right here. Right? You know this guy in the back right here? Mikey, yeah? I'm telling you, every holiday, he's not even eating by my house. He knocks on my door, I feel so special. I feel great. Rabbi, this is for you. Came Shavuot, he brought me a crazy cheesecake and this. What is this, Mikey? What is this? Rabbi, this is for you. Or this, that. He's thinking, I couldn't believe it. So Chanukah is coming up, Mike. I'm joking. But I'm just saying, it was Baruch Hashem. You feel good. Sukkot got a big bottle. Wow, what is this bottle? A nice bottle of wine. Oh, you don't understand. This is from 2001 vintage, something crazy. Taste one, sip it. But you know what? It brings ahava. It brings a connection. It brings wow. You feel good. He feels good. We both feel good. Wow, it's a thing. And that's why a person has to understand, especially if you're invited out. It's a nice thing. Again, it's not obligatory, but it's nice. Showing appreciation. I know what you did. I know you went all out for me. So this is a few lessons that we have to learn in generosity.